This is Jonathan Dickerson in beautiful Tainan, Taiwan, sitting here with Antonio Graceffo, the Brooklyn monk.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Now we're talking here with Antonio about some of his experiences with Prah Kru Ba, and you've written a book about this called Bikes, Boats, and Boxing Gloves, right?
Yeah, the book actually has a lot of different adventures in Thailand, Prah Kru Ba being one of the most important. And the book is available on Amazon.com and wherever fine books are sold.
Fine books, not those unfine books. Okay, now when we last left our intrepid hero, you're climbing into the ring for the first time after training with Prah Kru Ba, and you're going to fight a giant Thai guy who's already bleeding from fighting previously that day.
Yeah, that's him right there. I'm the good-looking fella on the right. Basically, this guy was huge. My boxing style is pretty aggressive. You know, when the bell rings, the first round, I always come out. I stand very close to my opponent, 8, 10, 16 inches away, and I'm just pounding away for the whole round. I had him on the ropes. I'm pounding, and he knocked me down. And I got up, and I was pounding, and he knocked me down again.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, we got a saying back in Texas: you knock me down once, shame. Well, you ain't gonna knock me down 3 times. That's for certain. So no, he didn't get a third knockdown. I knocked him down once, and just all 3 rounds went the same, man. He was on the ropes, and I just pounded him, man. I knew he didn't have the cardio; he couldn't move, and I just kept hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. But it was so hard, man. It was like hitting a statue. It just wasn't hurting him, and I was even aiming for all those places that were bleeding when he first got in the ring. And I was just hoping it would get stopped on a cut or something, and it didn't.
Sportsmanship.
Yeah, well, and speaking of sportsmanship, the other thing I was really afraid of is most of these guys are actually Muay Thai fighters. They're not boxers, and they're trying to make a living. And I think either that they will forget or conveniently forget that it's not Muay Thai. I was really afraid that he was going to kick me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so part of it, I was sort of holding back because I was kind of covering up, protecting myself, particularly my natal region, just in case he wanted to throw a kick or a knee. But anyway, he didn't. The fight ended. It was basically an exhibition fight. I think I won. I think they said I won. At that point, my Thai was like so-so. I sort of understood. They brought me up on stage. Everybody took photos of me, and we won a little bit of money.
Okay. Well, what about the other fighters that day? How'd they do?
Pyong was, Pyong is this muscular, tough, guy, and at the monastery though, everybody was picking on him. Every butt of every joke was Pyong, picking on him and teasing him, doing horrible things to him. And I used to say to him every night, I'm like, Pyong, why don't you stand up for yourself? Don't take that off them. Don't do it. Stand up for yourself. Fight. And he always just kind of smiled. And he's always like really good natured. Anyway, he gets in the ring to fight that night. And he goes mad. He just goes insane. He beat his opponent like I've never seen anybody get beat like that. He kept kicking this guy in the thighs and in the sides of his knees. He knocked the guy down 15 times in the first round.
Jeez, did they stop it?
They finally had to stop it, and they had to carry him out of the ring. He completely could not walk. And it was just like one kick from Pyong, bam! The guy's legs would go out from under him, and he'd fall, and he'd struggle to his feet, and bam! Kick him in the same place. And Pyong just killed this guy. And when it was over, I was helping some of the other boys get ready for their fights, and I looked over and I saw a man and a woman talking to Pyong in the crowd, right? And I just thought it was, whatever spectators, they want to meet him. And they were hugging him, and they were, whatever, and congratulating him. And the fights were over. We went home that night, and Pyong and I were laying there in our hut. We couldn't sleep. We were so jazzed up from the fight now. And we're talking about what happened, and Pyong's going, like we were talking about the fight. Oh, did you see it when I hit? Did you see it when I kicked? Oh, that was great. It was tough. And Pyong told me that woman and that man that I saw him with in the crowd, that was his family. It was his mother and father who had kicked him out. They showed up that night, and basically they showed up just to take the money from him when he won. And he goes, oh, my mother and my father, they're so proud of me now. They want me to come home and live with them. And obviously he just wanted to live there because they're going to take all his money, And I was so upset. And Pyong asked me, Hom Ben Di Mai? Am I good? And I thought he was talking about like, am I a good fighter? And I'm like, oh, Hun Ben Di, Hun Chok Di, Hun Chok Moi Di. I'm like, you fight really well. And then he suddenly loses that smile, and he just stares at me. And he goes, Hom Ben Kon Di Mai? It's like, am I a good person?
Is that him on the screen right there?
That's him on the screen. And he's asking me, am I a good person? As if, like, do I deserve my family kicking me out like this? Do I deserve all this stuff that's happened to me? And I said to him, I said, "Un bin kon di ma. You're a very good person. And that's the best I could do." And suddenly he just starts laughing, and he starts, like, hitting his chest going, I'm good. But he left the monastery a few days later, and after that, it was pretty lonely for me there. And I didn't really have anybody to hang out with and talk to anymore. And so I left shortly after. But Kru Ba stayed in my heart, and he brought me a lot. And I obviously will never forget him. It was an incredible chapter in my life.
That sounds great, man. Well, thank you very much for sharing it with us.
Yeah, see you next time on John Dickerson Radio.
John Dickerson Radio. That's WJON, broadcasting out of Tainan, Taiwan. Thanks for listening, everybody.